Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, Geek Chic, and we are back with another reaction to WandaVision. We're now on to episode 7, which is nuts. We're almost done this, girl. And I feel like the show is just getting started, so I'm like, what do you mean? But anyway, last episode, we had so much go down. Like, the rate that this show is ramped up is really, really hard to even fathom. But the major things that really happened in the last episode were we saw that Vision now, like, he's aware of the outside world, and he really, really wanted to do anything he could to help the townspeople. He knows that they're suffering. He's not okay with it, and he thought if he went through the barrier, he could get a better understanding of what's going on in this world, because thanks to Agnes, we discovered that he has no memory of anything that happened before Westview. So he just has a lot of questions. A lot of synapses are not really connecting, and he wanted answers. But he discovered the hard way that Wanda's magic, or whatever the mojo is that's inside the hex, is very much responsible for what's keeping him alive. And it literally started to tear him apart when he tried to leave. And that triggered Wanda expanding the barrier by what we have to guess is at least a few city blocks. And yeah, basically to save him. But also, I feel like in a fell swoop, take out the temporary sword headquarters that were sitting right outside of Westview. So that is now gone. A good chunk of the sword agents are now inside of the Matrix, as it were, as well as our girl Darcy. She's stuck in there now too. Hayward's still outside of it, unfortunately. But I'm not 100% sure that Hayward is not working with whoever or whatever is working inside of the Matrix just yet. I'm very excited to get into this episode. I know there's going to be so much to take in as usual, but that's half the fun of this show. So let's dive into the episode. Before we do, you know the drill. If you've been here before and you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way I know that you want to see more of this type of content as well. It lets you know when I'm doing more reactions to this, and it will notify you right away. As well as other shows that I do that are Marvel-based, which I will probably link at the end of the video or somewhere in the video, so check those out. With that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Girl, you must be tired. You did a lot.
Intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
That was meta. Okay, we like that.
My head feels weird. It's like really noisy. I don't like it.
Resting.
Wanda's checking out.
This evening.
She's still in the outfit. Okay, girl.
I got to it.
She's falling apart.
You always get to it first.
Normally they reset the scene every night. Remember Vision said that? Wanda, 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 where's Vision? 8 miles outside now. Again? We're doing this again, Hayward? We didn't learn the last time? Okay.
Make sure the team has everything they need. We launched today.
Launch what? What? Hayward, you dummy, what? Okay, we just haven't even gone to pick Vision up then. All right. Wanda's like, I expanded the barrier. I've done the maximum. He can find his own way home. Where's Darcy? Oh no, Darcy's... Oh, she's still trapped.
You don't remember me from last night? We locked eyes. There was an unspoken understanding.
Don't believe anything that man said. He is not your uncle.
Who is he?
I don't know.
No answers. Zip, zero, zip.
Uh-oh.
Nada, niente.
Wanda's snapping. Look at the kids like, okay, Mom.
I get up, but I just don't want to.
Facts. Wow, this is not like the 2020 quarantine vibe. So now that she doesn't care anymore, the illusion can't seem to stay in place.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Who is she talking to?
There they are.
Who's who? There, who is? Who there? Who this? What do we have here? What's Stark Toys? Okay, this looks very Tesla-like. This circus, I can't. Wanda, your pettiness, I aspire to it.
Fine, I'll go out with you, but I'm ordering the lobster.
I was like, Paul Bettany is irresistible. Come on now.
She's not going anywhere.
Good girl.
Oh, not my nose.
Sorry.
Come on.
She's like, I didn't get to fight the last time when Monica and Woo were, so I'm getting my punches in now. Ooh. See, I'm really curious if this is Wanda or this is whatever else has been working with her magic.
Why it's
Glitching.
why it's all falling apart and why I can't fix it.
You're tired, girl.
You think maybe this is what you deserve?
Who's talking?
What? You're not supposed to talk.
Who? What?
A unique antidepressant that works to anchor you back to your reality. Or the reality of your choice. Side effects
Meta?
include feeling your feelings, confronting your truth, seizing your destiny, and possibly more depression. You should not, because the world doesn't revolve around you.
Damn.
Or does it?
Wow. That was just all that truth. Entire series wrapped up in a commercial.
It's because it's quiet. You're quiet, Agnes.
His powers don't work on
On
her.
the inside.
So does that mean that she's either like not human or that she just really is just an empty puppet? Like, could she be dead too?
Godspeed, Captain.
I like their little team. Woo and Rambo. Team Wambo. It'll work. Why are you going so fast? Slower. If you rebound, that's gonna hurt like a mother.
2.
Hope that
Watch out!
rejected, the world said. The heck said nah. Oh, her cells are different now, so she can adapt. No, girl. No. This is some possession stuff right now. No. Oh my God, look. That is awesome. All of her different years.
Only feeling of the glow.
And you are the most powerful person I know.
She's hearing her mother? And potentially Captain Marvel? Okay, yes, girl. She. Woo! Glowing eyes! Glowing eyes! What does this mean? Guys! Wait! Wait, girl! Oh my God, they're like that permanently? What the? Can she fly? Like, what else can we do? Super speed, I need something. And she's not, her memory's still intact.
I think that
Show's still happening.
Wanda is creative.
Been watching WandaVision for the past week, and the love you two have is real.
Cute. Just a small problem is that Wanda's still crazy.
All you do is lie!
She never lied. She stopped that and she's like, not today, Wanda. Not today.
Do it then.
Exactly.
Take me out.
Uh-oh. Agnes.
I can't control this pain anymore, and I don't think I want to. Because it's my truth.
Tell the truth, girl. Black women still saving the world.
This doesn't concern you. Wanda?
Ooh, look at that sinister look. Have you figured out that she's the problem? Wow, everything paused. Do you notice when she was fighting with Monica because she couldn't focus on it anymore? Take Agnes out. Take her out. Why is Vision doing this? He can fly.
Oh, come on!
These random kids just came out of literally nowhere.
What am I doing here?
Thank you.
Talking to you. When this is absurd.
I'm sorry, I love those fourth wall moments. Thank you, Vision. I'm like, you can fly. What are you doing? Where are the kids? Where are the twins? I I feel like Wanda's not coming out of that basement, guys. Whatever that represents. How many bodies are in this basement? People who didn't make it out of Westview.
Tommy?
Those look like tentacles, right? Are they just roots? Or the things that are sapping Wanda's magic? Ma'am, no one's basement is like this. This is a dungeon. What? Whole underground network. What are those? What are those symbols? Why is it so dark? What is this? What does this mean? What is this? Magic book.
You didn't think you were the only magical girl in town, did you?
Purple magic.
The name's Agatha Harkness. Lovely to finally meet you, dear.
Agatha Harkness.
Messing up everything.
This music! It got so dark, and then this. Oh my god, is she actually puppeteering his corpse? I knew they would do this. I said they were going to do at the end of this where they were going to come back and show us everything that's happening and all the things we might have missed.
And I killed Sparky, too.
Yes, we all guessed. All right, well, so I don't think that any of us are super surprised that Agnes, well, and the thing is, I'm not 100% willing to believe Agnes is all the way behind this, or Agatha, sorry, Agatha. Let me just go ahead and Google, because I don't know that name, Agatha Harkness. She's a powerful witch portrayed as a sinister heroine and teacher of Wanda Maximoff, as well as being the mother of Nicholas Scratch. Nicholas Scratch, why do I know Nicholas Scratch's name? She's got the alias of Professor Ametreus as well. Agatha Harkness was old enough to remember 500 years before Atlantis sank to the bottom of the sea. Okay, so she's pretty much immortal. Powers, sorcery, ability to tap the universe's infinite store of ambient magical energy and manipulate these to a variety of effects. A skill derived from 3 major sources: personal powers of the mind, body, and soul. That would, okay. Power is gained by tapping the universe's ambient magical energy and employing it for specific effects. That would be why there's tree roots in her basement. And finally, power is gained through the tapping of extra-dimensional energy by invoking entities or objects of power existing in mystical dimensions tangential to her own. The latter means of power usually gained by the recitation of incantations. Some of these effects include forming magical energy bolts with high degree of potency and control, erecting energy shields or screens with a high degree of durability to both physical and magical damage, creating illusions, teleportation across the face of the earth or to a mystical dimension, thought casting over short or vast distances in a manner virtually identical with telepathy, levitation, and astral projections. Woo! That's a mouthful. Okay, so yeah. I know a lot of people were thinking Mephisto, a lot of people were thinking Nightmare, but all of these things, all are what we've seen. All of this is what we've seen. That she is able to put up magical barriers. So Wanda thought she was doing the barrier, and potentially she was, but again, I'm totally, this is all conjecture at this point because we still have 2 episodes. But it sounds like, based on what we see of Agatha's abilities, that she's actually using Wanda to do all these things. Like Wanda, obviously, we saw Wanda using her magic to do things, but it looks like Agatha has been, I don't know if I want to say fully, I feel like she's tapped into Wanda's sadness and has used that as a way to amplify her own magic, if that makes sense. Because it says she draws on magical energy. So we saw the roots in her basement. I'm going to assume that that's the earth power that she's drawing from. Because remember I was saying to keep the hex up and keep all these people going, it's taking a crazy amount of power. And Wanda doesn't have that. So that would be Agatha's power then. That she's probably using the tree to like continue to fuel it, so that it can continue to go when Wanda's sleeping and resting in the meantime. And my guess is that she is also, like we saw, like some of you guys put in the comments, thank you so much, about how the shark commercial with the Yo Magic yogurt, It's that it's feeding off your magic. So she was using Wanda's energy to continue fueling this illusion. This makes so much more sense now, though, because yes, 2 cents of magic at work. So Wanda is being mind controlled to some degree, because it said in here that Agatha has some forms of telepathy and mind control. But I guess is that she can't fully take over Wanda's mind because of the Mind Stone powers, right? I feel like there's a certain level of protection around her mind. And the reason that she's never been able to fully control Vision is because Vision isn't human. So that is probably why she can't control him. And then we saw when the twins, especially the one that's like Wanda, was like, I can't get through to you. Why can't I hear you? She was like, shit. The twins are immune to me like their father. So I got to get rid of them because Wanda will listen to them, right? She knows that, I think Agatha's figured out that if there's anything that'll get through to Wanda, it's her kids or Vision. And we noticed that both times that her kids or Vision almost got through to her, Agatha pulled them out. So how interesting. Like I said, I don't think this was shock. I think a lot of us have been suspecting Agnes/Agatha for a long time, but no one really knew the full extent of what she was, or if she was being used, or if she was working with somebody in order to do this. But I'm still not 100% sure yet that she's 100% behind all of it. Like, my next question is gotta be why. Because it says in this, again, I'm just going off of the Marvel wiki here, it says she used to mentor Scarlet Witch, at least in the comics. So it doesn't look like she's a villain, but if she's been around for hundreds of years, like, I guess my question is why? Why would she do it? Why would she manifest her powers? And if she had someone as powerful as Wanda in the palm of her hand, why would she do this? There's got to be an objective. There's got to be a reason. At least I hope it's not just her having fun, but I don't know, right? Maybe we've seen her cackle a few times, so maybe it is just her having some wicked fun. But I'd like to think that this show has been so layered so far that, you know, Agatha can't just be some mustache twirling villain. I think this is one piece of the puzzle that's been solved, but I don't think it's the answer to everything. I think there's more going on here. I'm not 100% sure yet that Hayward's only motivation is just to get Vision back. I think there's more going on there, but now that at least that we know that his whole program to rebuild Vision and try to redo that whole thing was a thing, it definitely makes more sense why he's just been tracking Vision and seeing what he could do to get him out. But yeah, I think he's got to recognize that Vision's reanimation was absolutely tied into Wanda and her magic, so separating the two makes no sense. So yeah, I don't know. I think that might be part of it, like getting Vision's body is part of it. But like I said, I'm not convinced yet that that's Hayward's only motivation either. I don't even know. Thoughts. All right, let me just jump back into the episode really quickly before I let my noodle kind of bake on that for a while. We had, I love that the Vision and Darcy scenes are really cute. I appreciate that because Kat Dennings is really good with that kind of quick, witty banter, and obviously Paul Bettany. So I love that these two got a chance to interact and kind of play off each other in that way. I'm glad that at least he's got the full picture and now he really wants to go to Wanda, but now we know that it's Agatha that's keeping him away from Wanda because she's figured out that, you know, Vision's not playing ball anymore, and that, like I said, he might be able to get through to Wanda, and that's clearly what she didn't want. I think what Agatha potentially did not account for was just how much Wanda needs Vision and his love and support to want to continue. Like, I think this whole illusion really worked because Wanda was buying into it for a very long time. She cared about it. She was invested emotionally in it. But as the episodes have gone on, and obviously, as I said before, I think she's been getting tired, but also with Vision waking up and realizing this was not okay, she started to feel guilt, she started to feel bad about it, and all those things started to chip away at her resolve to keep this going. I don't know, but I'm assuming that Agatha's magic alone isn't enough to keep this place going. She needs Wanda's as well, and that's why she's kind of trying to, like, I think she was hoping that Wanda would be so invested in this by now that she wouldn't have to keep up the illusion. Like, I think she created the illusion initially so that Wanda would be so distracted by what was going on. Much like, you know, I said in the first episode that, like, this whole thing is clearly meant to distract. I think she was doing that it's kind of like the carrot, right, to lead Wanda in, and then hope that by the time she was really invested and had the family and everything else, that she'd be like, I want this so bad that I don't care about anything else and I'll stay invested. But I don't think she anticipated that Wanda would start to fall apart and lose her investment in this world, and therefore, you know, her magic is waning. And even though I'm assuming Agatha is feeding off this magic, I think she still needs Wanda to be in it in order to feed off of it. I think that Agatha didn't quite anticipate that reaction from Wanda. And obviously, Monica almost biffed it for her, right? Monica came in when she obviously did not anticipate, you know, that Monica would have that level of resolve. And we saw her face when she saw that Monica was actually getting through to her. She came in, ixnayed that right away. And thankfully now I think Wanda finally understands that Agnes is the problem. Which let's dovetail into Monica. So happy I wasn't sure what we were gonna get, y'all. I didn't know how much we were gonna get into Monica's transformation because, like I said, this is technically Wanda's show. I didn't know how much we were gonna talk about Monica and her journey, especially since she didn't show up to like episode 2, 3. But my girl went through. She went through the hex again. And oh my God, that whole scene. I loved that whole scene with her walking through and all the versions of her coming out, all the spectral versions here and there, and all the voices in her head. We heard her mother talking to her. I think Captain Marvel talking to her. We heard other things that Monica said, all these doubts, like all this stuff was going on. So that energy field is more than just energy. Like it affected her. Like it was actually in her head. And then she finally, I love that part where she gets close to the end and she sees like the end of the hex is like in reach. And she literally is just like, screw this. And she just pulls all those versions of her back together and then she just pushes through. That was baller. I love that entire sequence. Best superhero becoming story ever. No, but for real, like I'm trying to think of a movie outside of Spider-Man where we actually see the superhero get their power. Do you know what I mean? Like almost always when we come into a Marvel movie or show, that hero already has their abilities. We hear the story, but we don't actually see it. Like Spider-Man was it. With, you know, bit by the spider, sticky hands, all of a sudden, you know, we got to see that. But actually seeing Monica get her abilities, like have them activated for the first time, like that was cool. I really enjoyed seeing that. And I hope we get to see more of that, you know, down the line. But anyway, and her eyes when she came out, and then she was just like, and I love that she didn't even have time to process it. She was like, wait a minute, why does everything look like this? And then she's like, don't have time. Let me go find Wanda. And then when Wanda had her with the magic and then tried to throw her and then she landed, but then she shot energy out beneath her and stopped herself from hitting the ground hard. And you saw Wanda's face, right? Wanda was like, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. You should have fell to the ground. What? So Wanda's clearly picking up on the fact that she's changed, that she's not the same, but again, didn't have time to really process it. But I love the little interaction between Wanda and Monica, with Monica coming to her with the things she really needs to hear. And I love that because, 2-3 episodes ago, we heard Monica say, like, Wanda is so sad. Like, there's a broken, sad woman underneath all of this stuff that we're seeing, and no one's addressing that. And I love that she used the connection of her losing her mother and clearly not being in contact with Captain Marvel probably for a long time. Like all the people in her life that mean something to her are gone. And so she's like, I connect with your loneliness. I connect with your sadness. And I see that. I don't care about all the other stuff. I'm not here to judge you for what you've done. I'm here to tell you that I see you and I see your pain and I understand it, but that this isn't the way to handle it. Like we can work together. Like you're not alone. I'm here to be, to help you through this. And that was just a really nice, beautiful, like soul to soul, sister to sister moment right there that I think Wanda has been so desperate for. And, obviously if Agatha hadn't intervened, I really do think that we would have seen Wanda probably drop the hex, to be perfectly honest, at that moment. The people. She wasn't ready to let go of her family yet though, right? Because we saw she started to walk away and Monica called out, like, just drop the hex. And she was like, no, right? Like a visceral no. But I think in her mind, she's thinking, I think, more of her kids and Vision. I think that's her big thing, is that she's so scared that if she drops the hex, which is why she expanded the hex in the first place, that she's going to lose Vision and that what she has with her family will disappear. But I'm so excited for Monica, y'all. I'm so excited for that. I think Monica's powers are actually going to be very integral in stopping Agatha, or at least interrupting Agatha long enough for Wanda to get her senses back and actually fight back. With the abilities now that Monica has developed, I think it's a mixture of Wanda's and now of Agatha's powers in some way. So I guess my point is, I think she's going to have the ability to interrupt that spell pattern, kind of the same way Vision's been doing to the townspeople. And I think she'll be able to do that for Wanda and be able to do it long enough to get Wanda to get her crap together and be like, okay, whoa, what's going on here? And actually like work to push Agatha out. Wow, just so much going on, guys. So much going on. Where are the twins? Literally, where are they? If Agatha gaveth the kids, technically she could take them away. But I'm also thinking that the kids turned out to be something she didn't anticipate. She genuinely looks surprised at the fact that, I can't remember which one is the telepath, but the fact that he couldn't read her and that he was immune to her, that clearly made her very upset. So guys, what do you think? Do you think Agatha is working alone? Do you think this is all solely her work along with Wanda's powers? Or do you think there's maybe a third party involved? Like maybe Mephisto and Nightmare are still part of this? What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. Let's keep chatting and theorizing. You guys have been amazing with comments and getting involved in discussion. I really enjoy it. Thank you so much. And if you made it to the end of this long review, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That way I know that, you know, you like this video, and it was also good for the algorithm. So, you know, your girl appreciates that. And again, if you like what you see and you want to see more of this geeky face, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, see ya.